Hi guys, welcome once again to Mr. H's weekly recaps. Today we're going to be looking at quiz number 3 for the benefit of our Gov and Econ and World History students. So let's throw the cartoons up here and let's kind of break them apart here for you guys and give you some feedback. First set of cartoons we're going to look at is for the benefit of our Gov and Econ guys. The first cartoon, and I understand that my box is kind of taking away a little bit from the cartoon. But specifically, we were looking at here kind of in the aftermath of the national walkouts that took place in March, students protesting, a variety of different topics, school safety, gun control, different things like that. And particularly, we wanted to draw to attention in this cartoon the just ginormous task in front of the students, particularly from Parkland High School, who are trying to use their platform now that they have as activists and as spokespeople to take on the National Rifle Association, sort of this group that has all the money in the world to work with, kind of all the ability to talk about gun rights and gun safety and different things like this. And really, it truly is, as the cartoonist puts down here, an epic struggle between David and Goliath. So as I was talking, I was kind of highlighting a few aspects of the cartoon that I wanted you guys to kind of bring out in your discussion. Again, if you have any more specific questions, you can always ask me or set up a time where we can go through your quiz, but those are kind of some of the big highlights that we wanted you guys to pull there. Keeping with our Gov guys, the second cartoon we threw at you guys has to do with the special election that took place out in the Pittsburgh area between Connor Lamb, who is now a representative in the U.S. House of Representatives, kind of won that special election. And I know I'm kind of cut off here in the Pennsylvania 18th District, which was over here on the little goalpost. And then on top of that, you have his Republican challenger, who was running against kind of with the endorsement of President Trump. And obviously, there are different characterizations, kind of the images here of the different candidates and who came out on top. But also we wanted you guys to kind of bring up the speech bubble that the president's talking about here, where you could even make the argument that it was, Trump arriving here and throwing his support behind the Republican candidate that actually made his job a whole lot harder to attract voters who were a little disenchanted with the president. When things like this have happened, and we could look back at the Alabama Senate race with Judge Roy Moore, the president has oftentimes come out and, after the fact, criticized the people he's just endorsed. So you could look at it kind of as a little bit of a knock there on the president's kind of Twitter habits when looking at that particular thought bubble or quote. Again, further questions, let me know. For our Honors World guys, first cartoon we took a look at here has to do with the Russian re-election of Vladimir Putin, and probably one of the biggest items that was brought up by a lot of folks was the fact that everybody here has a Putin face, and you could think of that kind of in the way of that this was not an election that was ever in doubt. Putin was going to be the candidate, he was going to be the vote counter, he was going to be the guy checking the ballots, and he was going to eventually win. And so kind of that makes this a little bit of an ironic statement up here. We talked about ballot stuffing, we talked about all the issues going on with the Russian election. There was never any doubt that Putin was going to win. You could also talk about the fact that the entire background here is one giant Russian flag, so it kind of gives you a further kind of detail that you could have talked about in your analysis. Our last cartoon has to do with the prospective summit between Kim Jong-un and President Trump, kind of going back again to the Olympics and the Paralympics, where North and South Korea were kind of working together and competing together under a united banner. You have the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, over here, and then you have this discussion of seems like Trump diplomacy has worked. In the aftermath of these games, we saw a level of cooperation between the two Koreas that we had never really seen before. And it could be fool's gold. Some of you guys made reference to the fact that you thought perhaps these guys had been drinking here, that there might be something, kind of making this look rosier than what it is. Perhaps that could be true, but again, these were different aspects of the conversation we were hoping you guys would kind of bring out in your analysis. Again, if you have any further questions, please set up a time with me and we'll go through your quiz. Other than that, guys, we will see you next time.